Hey, I wrote this story yesterday, this blog about coronavirus and feeling worried. And then one of my friends said, you know what? I'm not reading stuff, but if you do a podcast or a video, then I'll watch it. So, you know what? I'm literally going to say this one out loud, read it out loud, because some people don't like to read. I get it. All right. So it's called Coronavirus: How to Stop Feeling Worried. Feelings are caused by what you think. Worried is the feeling caused by your thoughts. So it's not the coronavirus causing you to worry, it's your thoughts about it. All right, so lately you might be having some thoughts like, I might get sick, or maybe I'm a carrier and don't know it, and I'm going to infect somebody who's vulnerable and they're going to die. My kids are anxious and I'm not sure what to do with them. I'm going to lose even more money in the stock market, or I'm not able to work and I'm going to lose money. The government isn't doing what they should do, and we're all going to be in trouble. I could run out of food, that kind of stuff, right? So if you're having thoughts like that, all that means is that you have a human brain and it's working just fine. All right. But if you have thoughts like that, you probably feel really worried. But feeling worried is a colossal waste of time because it gets you nowhere. So worry is one of the most common indulgent emotions. And you might think, well, what the heck is an indulgent emotion? So it's one that you keep having, like you feel worried, and then you stay stuck. So having an indulgent emotion means it's something that you feel, but it doesn't help you move forward. It doesn't help you take the actions that you want to take. So let me ask you, parents of teenagers. All right, have you ever worried that your kid would, go to a party, be driving home, and then like wind up in a ditch or get hit by somebody else? And you play out that entire scenario in your head. And then later your kid gets home, they're totally fine. And then you remember saying to yourself, like, oh my gosh, I was worried for no reason. That's an example of how worrying literally got you nowhere. It just felt like it was necessary. Like that's just what parents do, right? Well, not necessarily. So let's say your kid went out to the party and you didn't feel worried. The other reason is because you had different thoughts than the person who feels worried. Maybe you thought, I'm so glad that her and her friends are, she's making new friends. And then you feel happy. So rather than mentally stewing in horrible scenarios, you had fun, enjoyed your evening, read a book. But okay, let's take the situation with your kid driving home to the worst case scenario. So your kid gets into a car wreck, and then when you think about it, you feel terror and sadness. In the first case, when your brain stewed on scary what ifs surrounding your kid driving, you felt shitty with worry, and then you felt terror and sadness at the time of the wreck. But in the other case, where you focused on maybe the friends that she was making at the party, you felt good and happy, and then terror and sadness. So here's the difference. What do you want? Do you want to feel shitty now and later, or feel good now and shitty later? In any case, the worry itself did not and cannot prevent anything. And feeling worried keeps us from creating the things that we want. Worry prevents our wonderful, creative selves from coming up with solutions. So when we are worried, when we're feeling worry, we're focusing on threatening information. And we do that all the time now, especially with stuff on Facebook and the news. Is like your brain is wired to like look for threats. And so when you worry, that's exactly what you're doing. And then often we indulge in emotions as a way of staying stuck. We just unconsciously choose to stay on the emotional hamster wheel. So here's how I noticed worry in my life like 2 days ago. I was thinking, people may not want to come to our wedding in early May because of the coronavirus. Some of our guests may have already bought plane tickets. There's no point in planning a wedding reception if nobody comes, and it will be so much work to change all of my plans. And so I found myself stewing in those thoughts for a bit, and then I realized that the worry itself had no upside for me at all. It kept me stuck spinning in my mind about the worst case scenario. So I decided to shift my focus to something else, solutions to the perceived problem. I let my creative brain go to work. So my fiance and I made a decision. Now shit is getting done because I changed my thought to, it's okay to reschedule a wedding. This led to a feeling of assured, which is now guiding my actions. Guests were contacted, plans are going to be changed, businesses will be contacted, and the wedding will just happen later than we'd originally planned. So ask yourself, is worry keeping you stuck? Are you lost in your head just thinking about how awful things might become? So try this. Write down all those worries. Yes, you have to write them down. Literally grab a sheet of paper and a pen and get that stuff onto paper. I can't emphasize this enough. See what your human brain is coming up with. Notice how it's stopping you from doing the things you want to do. You'll be amazed at how many thoughts are actually spinning in your mind. So circumstances, in this case, coronavirus or my wedding, right? Being canceled leads to thoughts, which leads to feelings. It always goes that way. Circumstances, thoughts, feelings. You don't feel anything unless you have a thought about it first. So wouldn't you rather be doing something constructive, like dealing with things when and if they happen? So there's loads of negative feelings that we should allow, we need to allow. Being human means that life is 50-50. It's a balance of positive and negative emotions. And being willing to feel certain negative emotions enables us to work through them. Like if you feel insecure and you work through insecurity, you get the results that you want. Just don't dwell on emotions that keep you stuck, like worry. So I have literally cleared my schedule this week, and I'd be glad to coach you for free. It's just one way that I want to serve my community. And so I will leave a link as to how you can get in touch with me and schedule a free coaching session. And coming up, I'm going to teach you the next step to move away from worry and into a feeling that is helpful. I'm here for you.